Get your St. Louis MMA fix at knucklejunkies.com.
This video is sponsored by Brad Carey with Realty Executives Premier. If you're looking to buy or sell your home, call Brad Carey.
We're here at the Lumiere Casino for Shamrock FC. I'm here with Victor Sam Paneitz. Sam, 5-0 now, all 5 wins either by TKO or KO, and over a very young but up-and-coming Graham. First of all, how does it feel to get the win, and how does it feel to get the acknowledgement that you've so longly deserved?
It feels good, man. I think just like working hard and everything, like this is a fight where I could kind of get out there and people could see what I'm really capable of. I think I still have a lot more to offer. People just kind of see me as only a few of my skills, and I haven't gotten to show really what I'm capable of yet.
Yeah, and now only one of your fights managed to get into the second round. So when you go into these fights, do you go with the mentality of a first-round finish, or do you try to play your game and see where the strengths and weaknesses of your opponent lie?
I definitely don't go out there looking for a finish. I go out there and just try to completely outclass the other person. Like whatever I'm better at, I know I'm able to take the fight wherever it is, whether it's grappling, wrestling, striking, whatever, clinch. I know I'm better than them in whatever position. So I kind of pick the best route, go there, and then when the finish presents itself, that's when I take it.
Beautiful. Once again, victorious Sam Paneitz. Knuckle Junkies here with Victor, Marco, the Afro Samurai Hutch. Yeah. Marco taking on Curtis Ellid. Strong wrestler, very explosive fighter. Yeah. You went in there in the first round, he got the explosive takedown, but you kept your composure, and you actually ended up getting an inverted guillotine, trapping him against the cage. Was that how the fight was playing out to you? Is that what you thought the fight was going to go?
Man, I just did a free flow with it, man. Just whatever he gave me, I took, and just weathered the storm. He was a strong guy, explosive, so just try to get back to my feet, and push the pace a little bit and wait for him to shoot. He shot and I took it. So
now, was the strength element of Elling, was it something that you perceived, or was it a surprise to you? Because you were telling me in the back, like, man, that guy was strong. Yeah. How'd that feel?
Hey, it felt like I was like wrestling with a bull, man. But it was good for me, man. Just to get that experience with a guy that's that strong and explosive. So I just weathered it out. Did what I need to do. And you've been a big help too, man. So thank you. You came in my corner when nobody was there. I got these guys over here too, man. So. And
last but not least, I know that you said that you were gonna now move camps. You're probably gonna head down to Kansas City. Is this something that you kind of thought of, and it's always been in the back burner, or how is that move gonna be with you?
It's gonna be good, man. We got Tim Elliott out there. We got James Krause. We got Zach Cummins, Jason Witt, Trey Ogden. Let's see, Megan Anderson. We just got a list of guys that can just, they shine in different dimensions. So that's definitely gonna come out of my game. You're gonna see more adjustments to my game. So it's gonna be good.
Marco, it's been a pleasure, buddy.
Hey,
absolutely stunning.
Hey, thank you, man.
I'm here with co-main event winner Jordan Rowdy Dowdy. Jordan, a lot of times a fighter is tested with their will and their determination, and a lot of times before this fight you were telling me that I need this. This is the one that's either going to make or break my career. First and foremost, what were the emotions going into this fight, and how satisfying was it to get the TKO or the submission finish on Joel Blair in the first round?
I felt a lot of pressure coming in this one. That's why I worked my ass off. I always work and dedicate everything to this, and this one was even more so. Everybody that knows me knows that I've sacrificed it. I've never worked harder for anything in my life than this past handful of months for this fight, because I took a couple steps up in competition, had some bad luck in one, and I ended up 3-3, and I'm like, I am not a fucking 3-3 fighter. That burnt. So for the first time in a year, I'm gonna actually sleep very well. But I put everything on the line here. I felt a lot of weight, and even Jesse was telling me afterward, you need to start having a little bit more fun because you just put too much pressure on yourself. But for the first time in a year, I'm gonna be able to sleep well, and it's not just due to me; it's due to a lot of people.
Joel Blair is obviously known for his tenacity and his determination. He's a hard guy to finish, tough nose, tough fighter. How satisfying was it to get the finish? Not only that, but displaying the jiu-jitsu acumen that you just displayed. I mean, that was spectacular. You kept the back, kept composure, kept control, and then ultimately got the choke.
Well, when I put the gi on, started working down with McKinney at head nod squat, I felt a huge difference. I never thought the gi would add that much dimensions to it, but it really does for stifling hips and playing around with it whenever they can try and shrimp and move. But I knew if I was calm and calculated, if I put him in a position, it was going to be over. Like, there was no way in hell you were getting out of that position. And you know what? To his credit, a lot of guys would have stopped there. And he ended up getting a leg out, and I'd have to pull him back forward. And I'm like, Wassum's going to let me beat on him constantly. And so finally I dug up under, I got under his chin, and I was like, oh, okay. And then I threaded it, put the hand behind, and there I knew I had it. But I wasn't fucking letting that thing go until his head popped off, or I got out of there, you know, in handcuffs or something. I had to get that win tonight. That's what this is about for me.
Now, I know that you have been talking about this cut. It's a hard cut for you to get down to 170. You obviously were also feeling the emotions before the victory. What is next for Jordan Dowdy in the sense of where will we see you? What weight class?
Not quite sure yet, because I felt good today. The cut to 70 always sucks. There's still some work to be done with the nutritionist, and they might be able to get my walking weight down a bit. I wouldn't be against fluctuating both, but I got to talk to my strength conditioning coach, George, and all that. I already have a date in mind that I want, September 22nd. That's the next fight I would like. River City Casino. I've been at the Lumiere a handful of times. September will give me enough time in summer to finish up grad school and have a week's vacation with my family, come back, hit the ground running, and try and build another win streak here.
Awesome. Well, Jordan, it's a spectacular performance. Always a pleasure, sir.
Thank you. To thank everybody that's been a part of this. Fraser, you would have to cut this down so much, but I got to thank my strength and conditioning coach, Hit Squad. I got to thank the guys at the Wolves Den. I got to thank Share Chiropractic. I got to thank my brother. You know, he's helping me out. He's always an ear to me. He can be honest, and, you know, I feel relieved.
Knuckle Junkies here with main event winner Aaron Highfill. Aaron, there were a lot of questions going into this fight about how you would be mentally because you had just come off a loss against Jake Lindsay, thank you. And you were coming into this fight, bumping up a weight class. 3 weeks ago you had just fought, and you're fighting now Dwayne Diggs. 2-0, 2 quick finishes on his end, and there were a lot of unanswered questions. What does Dwayne Diggs have? Is Aaron Highfill mentally prepared for this fight? I think you answered a lot of questions tonight, but more importantly, he controlled the majority of that first round. How was his jiu-jitsu and his strength compared to what you had planned?
You know, he came out and everything kind of happened how I kind of expected. You know, I knew he was going to try to get to the ground, and when he did, you know, he kind of got a good position there for a second, but I could, you know, that's kind of like where the experience comes into play. I could feel him squeezing me, and I was like, I'm just going to hang out here and just let himself wear himself down, and that's pretty much what happened, you know.
One of the things that you said in the interview was that, you know, he hadn't gone the distance, and we haven't seen much of Dwayne. Whenever you were able to reverse the position on him and secure the body triangle from the top position as well, and you put in the rear naked, he tapped relatively quickly. Was that really synced in, or, I mean, walk me through that submission?
I think I got back control, and I think I hit him with a few good shots and hurry up and got it sunk, and it was in, but, you know, I think it made him a little deflated from losing that position and wearing himself out. So
now you've quickly made a name for yourself as a guy that'll fight anyone at any given time, and now we know at any weight class. So you know, just one of the questions that we always ask is what is next? And for you, what do you plan on doing from here? Do you plan on going back to 170, fighting again at 185? What do you feel is next for Aaron Highfill?
You know, I don't really know. I try not to think too far ahead, you know. So I'm down to do whatever weight class, you know. It's the reason why I wanted to go up to 185 is because I knew I was going to feel better, and I felt great, man, going in there. I was all relaxed, you know. You know, we'll see how I'm getting sponsored by Sheer Chiropractic, and they're helping me out with all my diet and everything. So we'll see where my weight's at. You know, I'm just tired of killing myself to make weight, you know. Everything else that's going on in my life, and it's pretty time consuming, and that's where all the stress and anxiety and this stuff goes, is the weight cut. So
well, Aaron, you got a spectacular performance, man. It's always a pleasure calling your fights.
Thank you, appreciate it. Hi, Mom.
Some jack-off's yelling from the cage.
knucklejunkies.com